Imagine, if you will, a ship sailing on a vast ocean. The waters stretch endlessly in every direction, the horizon is a thin line between sea and sky. This ship, my friends, is our life, and we are its captain. The future lies before us, an uncharted expanse filled with both promise and peril. But I say to you now, do not worry about what lies ahead, for in worrying we rob ourselves of the very strength we need to navigate these waters. You see, worry is a curious thing. It masquerades as preparation, as thoughtfulness, as care for the future. But in truth, it is a thief. It steals our peace, our joy, and our ability to act in the present moment. It is as if we were to spend all our time in the captain's quarters, poring over maps of waters we have never seen instead of standing at the helm and steering our ship through the waves before us. I am not suggesting we throw caution to the wind and sail blindly into the storm. Far from it. But there is a world of difference between prudent planning and paralyzing worry. The former equips us for the journey, the latter keeps us anchored in the harbor, too afraid to set sail at all. Consider the flowers of the field, how they grow. They do not labor or spin, yet they bloom with a beauty that surpasses the finest garments of kings. Or think of the birds of the air, who neither sow nor reap nor gather into barns, yet they are fed. Are you not of more value than they? If the Creator tends to these, will he not much more clothe you, O you of little faith? But perhaps you are thinking that is all well and good for flowers and birds, but I have real problems to face. And indeed you do. We all do. The world is not a gentle place, and life often presents us with challenges that seem insurmountable. Yet I put it to you that worry adds not a single hour to your life, nor does it solve a single problem. It is, in fact, a problem in itself. Worry is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it does not get you anywhere. It is motion without progress, action without advancement, and worst of all, it robs us of the very thing we need most when facing an uncertain future: hope. Hope, you see, is the antithesis of worry. Where worry sees only storm clouds, hope sees the possibility of rain to nourish the earth. Where worry hears only thunder, hope listens for the music in the storm. Hope is not blind optimism, pretending that all is well when it clearly is not. No, hope is the conviction that something good awaits us even when we cannot see it yet. Think back to the great stories of old, the myths and legends that have shaped our understanding of the world. In these tales, the hero never knows what lies ahead. They face dragons, witches, and all manner of fearsome foes. But they press on, not because they are certain of victory, but because they believe in the possibility of it. They hope. And is that not our story too? Are we not all on a great adventure, sailing into unknown waters? The future may be shrouded in mist, but that does not mean it is filled with monsters. It may just as easily be filled with wonders beyond our imagining. But how, you may ask, do we cultivate this hope? How do we silence the voice of worry that so often drowns out all else? The answer, I believe, lies in three key principles: faith, focus, and action. First, faith, not necessarily in the religious sense, though that can certainly be a powerful source of comfort and strength. But faith in a broader sense, faith in the inherent goodness of the universe, faith in your own abilities, faith in the power of human resilience and ingenuity. When we have faith, we approach the future not as a threat, but as an opportunity. Think of it this way: every great achievement in human history began as an uncertain future. The Wright brothers did not worry about whether flight was possible. They had faith in their vision and worked tirelessly to make it a reality. Marie Curie did not fret over whether her research would bear fruit. She had faith in the pursuit of pursuits. Faith does not guarantee success, but it gives us the courage to try. Second, focus. Worry has a tendency to magnify our problems, making molehills into mountains and shadows into monsters. But by focusing our attention on what truly matters, we can put our challenges into perspective. Ask yourself, a year from now, will this problem still matter? 5 years from now? 10. Often the things we worry about most are temporary inconveniences that will fade with time. Moreover, by focusing on what we can control rather than what we cannot, we regain a sense of agency over our lives. We cannot control the wind, but we can adjust our sails. We cannot predict every obstacle in our path, but we can prepare ourselves to face whatever comes. Focus gives us direction, and direction gives us purpose. Lastly, action. Worry often paralyzes us, keeping us stuck in a cycle of fear and inaction. But action is the antidote to anxiety. When we take steps, however small, towards our goals, we prove to ourselves that progress is possible. Each action builds upon the last, creating momentum that carries us forward. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You do not need to have the entire future mapped out to begin moving in the right direction. Start where you are. Use what you have. Do what you can. Action begets action, and before you know it, you will find yourself further along the path than you ever thought possible. I can almost hear some of you thinking, but what if I fail? What if my actions lead to disappointment or setbacks? To which I say, so what if they do? Failure is not the opposite of success, it is a part of success. Every great inventor, artist, or leader has faced failure. What sets them apart is not an absence of setbacks, but a willingness to learn from them and keep moving forward. In fact, I would argue that a life without failure is a life half lived. For in our failures, we often find our greatest lessons, our most profound growth. The person who never fails is likely the person who never tries anything new, never pushes their boundaries, never truly lives. So, embrace the possibility of failure. See it not as a dead end, but as a detour on the road to success. For in doing so, you rob worry of one of its most potent weapons, the fear of what might go wrong. But perhaps you are still not convinced. Perhaps the future looms so large and so dark that you cannot see a way forward. If that is the case, let me offer you a different perspective. Instead of seeing the future as a vast, unknowable expanse, try to see it as a series of moments, each one an opportunity to make a choice. You see, the future does not arrive all at once. It comes to us moment by moment, breath by breath. And in each of these moments, we have the power to choose how we will respond. Will we choose fear or faith, worry or action, despair or hope? By breaking the future down into these manageable pieces, we can begin to see it not as an overwhelming force, but as a series of steps we can take one at a time. And with each step, we grow stronger, more confident, more capable of facing whatever lies ahead. Think of it like climbing a mountain. From the base, the peak may seem impossibly far away, shrouded in clouds and fraught with danger. But the climber does not focus on the distant summit. They focus on the next handhold, the next foothold, the next small victory that will bring them closer to their goal. And before they know it, they find themselves standing at the top, looking out over a vista they could scarcely anticipate when they began. That, my friends, is how we should approach the future. Not with fear of the unknown, but with excitement for the journey, not with worry about what might go wrong, but with anticipation for what might go right, not with dread of what we might lose, but with hope for what we might gain. For in truth, the future is not something that happens to us. It is something we create choice by choice, action by action, moment by moment. And while we cannot control every circumstance, we can control how we respond to them. We can choose to be the authors of our own story, the captains of our own ship. So I say to you now, set your sights on the horizon. Feel the wind in your sails and the sun on your face. Embrace the adventure that lies before you, for it is in the journey that we truly live. And yes, there will be storms. There will be times when the waves crash over the deck and the wind howls in the rigging. There will be moments of doubt, of fear, of uncertainty. But remember this, you are stronger than you know, more resilient than you believe, and more capable than you can imagine. You have within you the power to weather any storm, to overcome any obstacle, to sail through any waters. For you are not just a passenger on this journey of life, you are the captain, the navigator, the author of your own destiny. So cast off the lines that bind you to the shore of worry. Raise your sails to catch the winds of opportunity. Chart your course towards the dreams that burn bright in your heart. And as you do, remember that the greatest adventures often begin with a single step into the unknown. For it is in embracing the uncertainty of the future that we find our greatest strength. It is in facing our fears that we discover our true courage. And it is in letting go of worry that we open ourselves to the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. The future, my friends, is not something to be feared. It is something to be embraced, to be shaped, to be lived. It is a canvas waiting for the strokes of your brush, a story waiting for you to write its pages. So pick up that brush, take up that pen, and create a future that is worthy of your dreams. For in the end, it is not the challenges we face that define us, but how we choose to face them. It is not the storms we encounter that determine our course, but how we navigate through them. And it is not the worry we carry that shapes our future, but the hope we hold in our hearts. So I say to you once more, do not worry about the future. Instead, create it, shape it, live it. For the future is not a distant land to be feared, but a new day dawning, full of promise and possibility. And you, my friends, have the power to make it brilliant. Remember, every great journey begins with a single step. Every grand adventure starts with a decision to set sail. Every remarkable life is built on countless small choices to move forward, to persevere, to hope. So what will your choice be? Will you remain anchored in the harbor of worry, or will you set sail for the open seas of worry? Will you let fear of the unknown hold you back, or will you let curiosity about what might be draw you forward? The choice, as always, is yours. But I urge you to choose hope. Choose action. Choose life in all its messy, unpredictable, glorious fullness. For in doing so, you not only shape your own future, but you inspire others to do the same. Your courage becomes a beacon for those still trapped in the fog of worry. Your hope becomes a lifeline for those drowning in seas of despair. Your actions become a map for those who have lost their way. And is not that, in the end, the greatest adventure of all? Not just to live our own lives to the fullest, but to help others do the same. To be not just the hero of our own story, but a supporting character in the grand narratives of countless others. So go forth, my friends, into the great unknown of the future. Go with courage, go with hope, go with the knowledge that you are capable of far more than you could imagine. For the future is not something that happens to us, it is something we create together, one choice, one action, and one moment at a time. And as you go, remember this: the very fact that you are worried about the future is proof that you care deeply about your life and the lives of the life. That care, that passion, that deep-seated desire to make things better, these are your greatest strength. They are the fuel that will drive you forward when the path seems dark, the wind that will fill your sails when the waters are still. So do not let worry diminish that passion. Instead, let it ignite it. Let it drive you to take action, to make changes, to create the future you dream of. For in doing so, you not only overcome your fears, but transform them into the very force that propels you forward. Remember, too, that you are not alone on this journey. Look around you and you will find fellow travelers, each on their own unique path, yet all part of the same grand adventure we call life. Reach out to them. Share your fears, your hopes, your dreams. For in sharing, we find strength, and in community, we find courage. And when the way seems dark, when the future seems uncertain, when worry threatens to overwhelm you, remember this moment. Remember the strength you feel right now, the hope that burns in your heart, the knowledge that you are capable of facing whatever lies ahead. For you are the captain of your ship, the master of your fate, the author of your story. And the future, vast and unknown as it may be, is yours to write. So pick up your pen, my friends, unfurl your sails, chart your course, and set forth into the great adventure that awaits. For the future is not something to worry about. It is something to create, to shape, to live. And who knows, perhaps one day, years from now, you will look back on this moment as the day everything changed. The day you decided to stop worrying about the future and start creating it. The day you set sail for horizons unknown, with hope as your compass and courage as your crew. That day is today. This moment is now. The future is waiting. What will you do with it? The choice, as always, is yours. But remember that you are stronger than you know, braver than you believe, and more capable than you can imagine. The future is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced with all its uncertainty, all its challenges, and all its infinite possibilities. So go forth, my friends. Go forth and create a future worthy of your dreams. Go forth and live a life so full, so rich, so brimming with purpose and passion that worry has no place to take root. For in the end, it is not the years in your life that count, but the life in your years. It is not the destination that matters, but the journey. And it is not the future we should worry about, but the present we should cherish and the legacy we leave behind. So let us make that legacy one of hope, of courage, of unwavering faith in the face of uncertainty. Let us be remembered not as those who worried about the future, but as those who created it, shaped it, lived it to its fullest. For that, my friends, is the greatest adventure of all. And it begins right here, right now, with you. The future is calling. Will you answer? Of course, I can hear some of you thinking, but what if I am not ready? What if I do not have what it takes? My dear friends, let me assure you, you are ready and you do have what it takes. You see, readiness is not about having all the answers or knowing exactly what lies ahead. It is about being willing to take that first step, even when the path is unclear. Think of a child learning to walk. Does the child worry about falling? Does it fret over the possibility of bumps and bruises? No, the child sees the world from a new vantage point, sees the smiling faces of loved ones encouraging them, and simply tries. They fall, yes, but they get up again and again and again, until one day, without even realizing it, they're running. That child is you. The world is your playground, vast and full of wonder. And yes, there may be falls, there may be scrapes and bruises, but all the places you will go, the sights you will see, the lives you will touch. You see, the future is not some far-off land that we will reach one day if we are lucky. The future is being born right now, in this very moment, through your thoughts, your words, your actions. Every choice you make, no matter how small, is a brick in the foundation of tomorrow. Did you greet your neighbor with a smile this morning? You have just laid a brick of kindness in the world of tomorrow. Did you persevere to a difficult task at work? You have just strengthened the pillars of determination that will support your future successes. Did you take a moment to appreciate the beauty of a sunset? You have just painted a stroke of gratitude on the canvas of your life. These may seem like small things, inconsequential in the grand scheme of the universe. But I put it to you that there is no such thing as a small act of goodness, of courage, of love. For who knows what ripples these actions may create? Who knows how far those ripples may spread? Consider the humble acorn. It does not worry about becoming a mighty oak. It does not fret over how many rings it will have or how many birds will nest in its branches. It simply grows day by day, reaching towards the light. And in doing so, it becomes exactly what it was meant to be. You, my friends, are those acorns. Within each of you lies the potential for greatness beyond measure. Not greatness as the world often defines it in wealth or fame or power, but greatness of spirit, of character, of impact on the lives of others. So I ask you, will you plant yourself in the soil of possibility? Will you stretch your roots deep into the ground of your values, your beliefs, your deepest truths? Will you reach your branches high, ever striving to grow, to learn, to become more than you were yesterday? The future is not a destination, my friends. It is a direction. And the beautiful thing about directions is that you can change them at any time. If you find yourself on a path that no longer serves you, you have the power to choose a new one. If you encounter an obstacle, you have the strength to climb over it, tunnel under it, or forge a path around it. Remember, the mightiest rivers begin as tiny streams. The most awe-inspiring journeys begin with a single step, and the most remarkable lives are built one day, one choice, one moment at a time. So, do not worry about having it all figured out. Do not fret over whether you are ready for what lies ahead. Instead, focus on this moment, right here, right now. What can you do in this moment to move in the direction of your dreams? What small step can you take today that your future self will thank you for? Perhaps it is picking up that book you have been meaning to read, taking that first step towards learning a new skill. Maybe it is making that phone call you have been putting off, rekindling an old friendship, or healing a wounded relationship. Or it could be as simple as taking a deep breath, looking around you, and truly appreciating the gift of this present moment. Whatever it is, do it with all your heart. Do it not because you are certain of the outcome, but because you are committed to the journey. Do it not because you know where it will lead, but because you are excited to find out. For in the end, my friends, that is what life is all about. It is not about arriving at some predetermined destination. It is about embracing the journey with all its twists and turns, its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows. It is about becoming the best version of yourself, not in spite of life's challenges, but because of them. So, let go of your worries about the future. Release your fears about what might or might not be. Instead, embrace this moment, this day, this life, with all the enthusiasm and wonder of a child taking their first steps. For the future is not something to be feared. It is something to be created moment by moment, choice by choice, action by action. And you, my dear friends, are the creators. You are the authors of your own story, the architects of your own destiny. So, pick up your pen, stretch out your hands, open your hearts, and write a future so beautiful, so inspiring, so filled with love and hope and possibility that it lights up the world around you. For that is your calling. That is your purpose. That is your gift to the world. The future is calling, and I know with every fiber of my being that you will answer, not with fear but with courage, not with worry but with hope, not with trepidation but with joy. For you are more than you know, stronger than you believe, and capable of more than you can imagine. You are the heroes of your own story, the captains of your own ship, the masters of your own destiny. So, sail forth, my friends, into the vast ocean of possibility that lies before you. Set your course by the stars of your dreams. Let the winds of change fill your sails. And know that no matter what storms may come, you have within you the power to weather them all. For you are not just living in the future, you are creating it. With every thought, every word, every action, you are shaping the world of tomorrow. And oh, what a world it will be. So, go forth, my friends. Go forth with courage, with hope, with love. Go forth and create a future that generations yet unborn will look back on with awe and awe. Go forth and live a life so full, so rich, so brimming with purpose and passion, that when you reach the end of your days, you can look back with a smile and say, what an adventure it has been. For that, my friends, is the greatest victory of all. Not to have lived without fear, but to have lived fully despite it. Not to have avoided all storms, but to have learned to dance in the rain. Not to have reached some final destination, but to have embraced every step of the journey. So let us make a pact here and now. Let us promise to live each day not in fear of what might be, but in joyful anticipation of what can be. Let us pledge to face the future not with worry, but with wonder. And let us commit to creating a tomorrow so bright, so beautiful, so full of hope, that it illuminates the path for all who come after us. For in doing so, we do more than just shape our own lives. We become beacons of hope in a world that so desperately needs it. We become living proof that the future is not something to be feared, but something to be embraced, celebrated, created. So I ask you one last time, the future is calling. Will you answer? I believe you will. I believe you must. For in your answer lies not just your own destiny, but the destiny of all those whose lives you touch, all those who look to you, all to you for guidance, for hope. So, answer with all your heart, with all your strength, with all your love. Answer not just with words, but with actions. Answer not just today, but every day, in every moment, with every breath. For in your answer lies the seeds of a future beyond our wildest dreams. A future where hope triumphs over fear, where love conquers hate, where the light of human potential shines so bright that it banishes the shadows of doubt and despair. That future is waiting. It is calling. And you, my dear friends, are the ones who will bring it into being. So, go forth, create, love, live. For the future is not just calling. It is waiting for you to create it.